And welcome everybody to my channel yet again. No, it is not a Sunday. In fact, it's not even a Saturday. It's a Friday late afternoon, and I'm doing what most motorcycle owners enjoy doing, which is giving the motorcycle a good bath. Now, I just want to start this video by saying that yes, I will be going on another run tomorrow. And this to say that another week has gone by as quick as that. And I've noticed something about my motorcycle. Before we carry on, I just want to welcome everybody, especially the newcomers to this channel. This is all about motorcycling. And welcome to some motorcycling content. I'm filming nice and close to my exhaust. Do you see how the color has faded there? Where the old exhaust once was, that little pipe that connects to the actual exhaust has lost its color. And I have noticed it in the past, but haven't given it much thought. But I am going to be coloring that in again. I'm going to be spraying it the right color. It doesn't look right. It looks unfinished. It was black, but the paint that I used there has come off and has now become, it looks pretty used. It just doesn't do justice to the motorcycle at all. But anyway, guys, this to say that the topic of my video this today is all concerning the capacity and motorcycle type that one acquires every time one. If you listen, one motorcycle doesn't do justice to the needs of any owner, because first of all, speed is relevant, torque is relevant, horsepower is relevant, and luggage space is relevant, front wheel size is relevant, amongst so many others. Shock absorption is another important factor. And then, as you can all see, there is enough fork travel on this motorcycle. I forget the inches, but for most of you that know, this is a sports tourer, unlike other motorcycles which are designed for real touring. Let's just say that it's impossible to get a motorcycle that fits the profile of all motorcycles. Manufacturers have tried in the past to fit all into one, including the NC. The NC700 is one of the motorcycles that best suits most, as the best all-rounder in my opinion. If you look carefully, the shock that this shower provides is pretty good for the job it's done. In fact, it's very dirty, and that's why I'm going to be giving it a wash. There's my equipment. I've got what I need to give it a good wash for tomorrow so that the bike looks pretty decent. But this to say that there's not one motorcycle that fits the profile of one does it all. And the reason for that is very simple, because if they did that, they'd stop selling every other model on the market. Now, most of you know, most of you that are from this channel know that I come from an NC700. The NC700 that I have, I've got a little clip that I'm going to try and add to this one as part of the content that I would like to include into this video. The reason for that is because I think I've done the NC a huge disservice. The reason I swapped my NC for this one was because I needed the speed. 172, 174 kilometers per hour hardly suffices when you're up against the likes of liter bikes. Yes, some of you will say, but the speed limit's 120. We know that. Why would they make motorcycles that reach 300 kilometers per hour if they weren't going to be sold, or if they weren't going to be used at those speeds? But this to say that the NC was not intended for that kind of purpose. But if you go on certain roads and certain areas of our country, the NC will take the CBF and throw it aside. Where there are a lot of cameras around, speed cameras, the NC is going to be the best bike for you. This one will get you into trouble most of the time, and that is not something you want with a motorcycle. But this to say that the older you get, and here's another example of a mistake that I've done, and here it is. This is the mistake. This exhaust is hardly fit for a long trip, and if you go back in some of the videos that I've made, you'll understand why. You after an hour's riding constantly with the kind of decibels this M4 ripoff makes, not only do you arrive with a headache at your destination, but you will arrive with perhaps a little bit of hearing loss in some form or another, to say the least. But anyway, that the CBF is as a whole a good all-rounder motorcycle. If the standard exhaust is on as ugly as it is, the original one, the maneuverability of the motorcycle is fantastic. The miles per gallon is good. I will jot it down somewhere along this video for those of you that have requested it in previous videos. But that's not why people buy 4-cylindered motorcycles. I think it's fairly economical against a 800 or a liter bike. But if you're really looking for good miles per gallon, get yourselves an NC. I look at the NC now after having had this motorcycle for a while now. It's been a year and 10,000 kilometers, and I can comfortably say the NC has a frunk on top here, which really does serve a good purpose. Those are things you don't really consider when you're going on weekend runs, but as a commuter, the NC is certainly the champion bike. So I'll save the rest of the details for the video, and let's hope I bring you some footage of tomorrow's run. I still have no real idea of where it's going to be, other than Rand Airport, where I normally go, where I used to be as a pilot in my youth. One of the spots that I enjoyed going because of the aircraft there. But whatever it is, I shall bring it just after this. So let's cue the intro. So this is the mid stage of the video, at least I think it is. This is post wash and post polish. As old as the paintwork is, it's seen some kind of neglect in its past. Like I said, it's even had a drop before, but you know what, there she is, 2013 model, looking pretty fresh, and the paintwork looking pretty decent after the polish. I use a little secret spray that I found. It's a rally product, a South African. It's for car dashboards, so for plastics mostly, but you know, it seems to work on the metal as well, and the result is quite good. So as you can see, looking pretty shiny, but the camera is a little misleading. I know that everything looks shiny on camera, but it gives you an idea of what the motorcycle's initial look was meant to be. So yeah, that's as good as it's going to get unless I give it a good spray. There's a little spot I've missed here, and there we go, missed a spot there. But yeah, there we go. That's the CBF600. The reason why I changed from the NC, which I loved dearly. So between the CBF and the NC, you know what, guys, we all are individuals. We all have our tastes. Am I going to announce the one or the other? Not at all. You buy your own motorcycles. The only advice I can give you is we are all individuals, and each one of us has a need, and you got to fit the profile of that need onto your motorcycle as best as you can. Obviously, bearing in mind, let's just see who those guys were. Your needs, your height, your weight, the roads you'll be traveling on, the frequency you'll be traveling with a motorcycle, all that plays a big role in the outcome. So if you could have 5 motorcycles, you'd have to get all 5 of them. But that's not possible for the majority of us. So here's my answer to the problem. Like I said, the exhaust being the only, as you heard in the previous lot, or just after this, I'm not sure where I'm going to fit in the slot where I've started the bike, to make sure all is good for tomorrow. So guys, do a little bit of homework if you're going to get a bike, and take your decisions pending the outcome of all the boxes that the bike's going to tick, which at the end of the day is all that you need. As you by now may have found out, today's video is not about the CBF but more about the NC. Why am I why this compulsion to speak about the NC so much today? Because every time I see an NC on the road these days, I recall my NC, which a lot of you have seen on my previous videos. A motorcycle that is still today running around with a mate of mine. He purchased it from me, and I had the DCT version, the automatic one with ABS. I mean, that bike came pretty much with everything. So this to say that the following footage that I'm going to bring will be a compilation of photographs and a short video. It's not that short, about 3 or 4 minutes, doing the rounds on the NC. I don't know if I'm going to be able to speak whilst the video is showing, but I certainly will make every effort to do that. But this is certainly a tribute to the NC700, even though I still love the CBF600. Like I say, the only exaggeration is this exhaust. Guys, if you're ever going to remove an exhaust out of your motorcycles, consult a professional. Don't just go and buy something off the net like I did and enjoy the ride and your next visit to the hearing aid specialist. Trust me, listen, I might be over 50 and be a little bit full of it, as some of you youngsters, I don't think there's a lot of youngsters on this channel, would say, but the truth is, eventually on a long trip, that exhaust is just overwhelming. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the footage. As I promised, we'll see you on the other side. not the following day, it's the day after. I'm just gonna get it started. And it's a beautiful Sunday. It's not as warm as it used to be, but let me just move out of the but we're ready to complete the video that I started off making a little tribute to the NC700. I'm off to the Roye's Kraal. You've already seen footage of that. So what I'll do is I will complete this video celebrating the NC and taking pictures of my tenure at the run that we're going to be at now. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and we'll see you on the other side. Yeah, speed triples, awesome sound every time. Screaming Eagle air filter on this Harley here. Let's just check the speed triple. Get that sound out of the way. Crusaders, they've just lost a guy. Cheers, man. 1400 cc's of an engine. That's a nice backlight on a twin. It does a little bit modern, yeah. $890, and they cost a bundle, man. I do. Yes. They bid farewell. One or two other oaks coming in, so there's a nickname. I missed out on that popping, but it's okay. That Hayabusa, he's done something to that bike. So it's a beautiful day. Oh, here's my Thunderbird friend. Good to see them back. And here we are once again going through the line out. This time round CMA in force. The Moth Group 1 has just arrived. We got 2. So yours truly and a beautiful rocket. And yet another. This is a newer version. Beamers, Bandits, Harley, KTM, Moto Guzzi. Goodness, check this out. That's not something you see all the time. My oh my oh my. Very interesting array of motorcycles here. And I missed out on one of the NCs. It's already left. We all know that the tribute is for the ANC. Hi, how are you? Good show. So there you go. A newer NC, a couple newer NCs, and then the 1250s, the GSs. And then I've got an interesting Africa twin here, one of the first Africa twins. This is an interesting bike. This is where it all started, how it evolved from this to what it is now. The famous V-twin is now a parallel twin, and then another beautiful GS2 1250. Guys, all I can say is the sun radiates an awesome energy here, all in God's name. Of course, most of the people here gathered are Christians. So a fantastic gathering once again. So I'm going to finish with this and perhaps take one or two pictures. I want to thank you for watching this far, and from South Africa, another beautiful day, another beautiful run. Much love to all of you. Cheerio.